I'm Dr. William Starsiak, and in this video, I'm going to give you a few tips to help you with your meditation practice. The reason I'm doing this is because most of the people that tell me they've tried meditation and they decided that it's not for them have said that they just can't get their mind to calm down. They're thinking too much and they're too distracted. Now, of course, this is the reason to do meditation. We could see very easily that if we said this about basketball, all right, we decide, hey, I want to learn to play basketball. Then we go to play basketball, and the first couple times we play it, we're no good. And so we decide, hey, I shouldn't play basketball because I'm no good at it. Well, no, if we want to get better at basketball, then we have to play it. We're not going to start being great at it. And the same thing is true with really anything we do, meditation being no exception. So ideally, when we're meditating and we notice something undesirable or we notice a thought of judgment about our meditation, that we're present and we acknowledge that that sensation is undesirable, that thought of judgment is present, and then we return to our breathing. Those aren't reasons to stop meditation. We might use them as one, but inherently they're not. We could simply acknowledge them and then continue with our practice. But there are also things we can do in addition to meditation to help cultivate a more peaceful mind so that our thinking is not as distracting, and also to help cultivate more pleasant sensations in our body so the discomfort in our body is not as distracting. And eventually meditation itself can also be a cause for there being more comfort in the body. The first tip is stretching. And yoga is really like the highest form of a system of stretching to help prepare for meditation. The postures in yoga, or asanas, were developed exactly for that purpose, to help open up the channels of the body so that there's greater flow. And that greater flow then causes the body to be more comfortable when we're sitting still in meditation. So whether we take 10 minutes of doing some basic stretches we learned from high school gym class, or we go all the way with a full hour, 15-minute yoga practice, we're going to get some benefit from that stretching. It'll be especially beneficial if after the stretching we lay down and let our bodies relax. This is going to allow us to let go of any tension that's present, any muscle patterning from activities that we were doing during the day, or just chronic activities we're doing. Even if we're doing this practice in the morning, we can sometimes hold muscle tension from repetitive activities we do for our job. So if we lay down and with every breath, every exhale, we're just letting go more fully, we'll gradually reduce muscle tension and our body will become more fluid along with our mind. Instead of being kind of rigid and contracted, it'll be more flowing and open. So after laying down for a few minutes, then coming to the seated position and beginning the practice, most people will typically notice that their mind is already more peaceful, and so they'll get a greater sense of success and achievement in their meditation. Of course, we shouldn't become attached to these feelings. Whatever feeling, whatever sensation is present in meditation is just as it is. There's no need to be averse to it or to attach onto it. That will be an obstruction to meditation. The next tip is using breathing to help. There are multiple different breath techniques, many of which I have included here on my YouTube page. You can look around for them. And they lend themselves very well to preparing for a meditative practice. Generally, when we're talking about meditation, most people are using their breathing and they're letting go of control of their breathing. They're simply following the in-breath and following the out-breath. This other end of breath work that can help prepare for simply letting go is we're actually exerting control over the breathing. And that can look like the Ujjayi breath, where we're making the sound in the back of our throat like the Darth Vader sound. That's excellent because it creates a vibration that stimulates the vagus nerve, which is responsible for the majority of relaxing our physiology. And that breath is simple. It's like you're trying to fog up glass, like but instead of breathing out through your mouth, you breathe out through your nose. So it's and it makes a loud sound. You can maintain that for 5, 10, 15 minutes. In yoga, you're meant to do it during the asana practice and then let it go during Shavasana. But you can also use it at the beginning of your meditation. Another excellent breath is the alternate nostril breathing breath. It's where you breathe in through one nostril and you breathe out through the other. And then you breathe in through that one and back out through the other. So in through the right, out through the left, in through the left, out through the right. And you accomplish that by using your fingers to alternately plug the nostrils. This can be done at whatever breathing pace is comfortable for you, or you can combine it with the polyvagal breathing. Or you can do the polyvagal breathing on its own through both nostrils. The polyvagal breathing goes like this. You breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 7 seconds, breathe out for 8 seconds slowly. And I have a video where I go into that in detail if you're interested in learning about the physiologic underpinnings of that. But it's a very relaxing breath. The last breath I want to suggest as a way to prepare for meditation is, it's called Bhastrika, or also known as skull shining when you translate it, or breath of fire. And it's a pumping breath where all of the effort is on the exhale and it comes from the abdomen. And if you feel your abdomen when you do it on the exhale, the abdominal muscles tighten and move back towards the spine, like. And it's at a fairly rapid pace. You can maintain this breath for however long you're able to. If you go too long, you'll start to feel lightheaded. You'll start to get some tingling in your fingers. And this is because you're blowing off extra CO2, which is causing your blood to become very alkaline. Then there's a protein in your blood that will release a hydrogen atom from a carboxylic acid group to help buffer the blood. And then that protein, albumin, will bind up calcium, because when it loses its hydrogen, it becomes positively charged, and then, it becomes negatively charged, and calcium's positively charged, so they'll bind together. So the tingling is a pseudo low calcium, a pseudo hypocalcemia, and it will go away within a minute or two of breathing normally. So it's nothing to be worried about. But what it will result in is this sense of stillness and peace in the mind. And you can then follow that breath with pressing your eyes and covering your ears. So when you hear this deep quiet from plugging the ears, and when you press your eyes, you'll see some different things in your visual field, but the big result that you get from pressing the eyes is you're disengaging this connection between the eyes and the occipital muscles. We're focusing on small print so much on our phones, on our computers, or we're focusing on a screen. So we're keeping these occipital muscles engaged all day long. And then in addition, we tend to have kind of bad posture. So posturally, they're having to engage to keep our head up. When we press into our eyes, we disengage the eye's influence on increasing tension in the suboccipital muscles. And so those can really relax and more flow can go through there. If that region's not relaxed, it's very hard for the mind to be smooth and to focus on anything. Another physical technique someone can do, in addition to stretching, laying down, relaxing, these different breathing techniques, is the tense, relax technique, where we walk through the body in a seated or laying down position, and we alternately tense and feel the tension present in a muscle when we consciously contract it, and then we let it go, and we feel the sense of relaxation flow through that muscle. If you're only going to do this for a few regions of the body, great ones to do it with are the jaw, because we frequently carry tension in our jaw and we don't realize it. The shoulders are another very common spot. And the glute muscles are another very common spot for us to hold tension. So again, very simple. You tense the muscle, you feel the tension, and you let it go, and you feel what it feels like at that moment you choose to relax. Now, there are also some herbs and supplements that can be taken to help just maintain a baseline of greater calmness, greater clarity. The first one I want to tell you about is L-theanine. This is present in high levels in matcha and is probably the reason why matcha is so popular amongst the Japanese who are practicing Zen meditation. Because you get the stimulation of the caffeine from the tea, but you also get this L-theanine, which is very calming to the mind. It can be used to treat anxiety, to help with sleep onset, and it balances out the jitteriness effect of caffeine. So L-theanine is a great one. We carry it here in the office. It's not expensive, but you can buy it online. There are all sorts of companies selling it, and it's safe, safe and effective. But of course, talk with your doctor. I don't know everyone's medical situation, so there could be conditions that would make taking any of these medications problematic. So please only start any of these herbs after a conversation with your doctor. The next one is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha will help us adapt to stress so that we're not as stressed out by experiences in our day-to-day life. It helps us with sleeping better, with getting stronger, with greater ease, but it also helps with calming the mind and decreasing anxiety. So for that reason, it can help make meditation go more smoothly. Bacopa is another one, and Brahmi or Gotu-kola. So Bacopa and Gotu-kola, they're very similar in their effects. They help people with staying asleep. They'll help you have a clearer mental cognition, clearer clarity of the mind, greater energy during the day. They're not a stimulant though, so they're not going to get you wired. They're not a sedative, so they're not going to make you doped up. But they will help with laying down more memory, make it easier to remember things, and also with focus. So they're calming, they're focusing, very good for a meditative practice. So these are just a few tips that you can use to make your meditation more peaceful and maybe keep you in the game, keep you sticking with it long enough so that you begin to feel these benefits from meditation. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video. If you have any questions about anything on it, please put it in the comments below. And please subscribe to my channel, like this video, check out my other videos, and consider coming into the clinic if you have any medical needs. Thank you very much, and have a good day.